Swirly winds make it treacherous. Whew. Gusts of 20-30 miles an hour. Hi, today I'm going to be taking my bike out for the first time since the snow's really melted off and it's a record temperature day of warmth here. It's the first day I'm going to try out my bike almost fully loaded. So today I've got 2 water bottles, frame pack, handlebar pack, and my saddle bag. For today, just to get used to some of the weight, I've put in my tools. I've put in a sleeping bag. I have my drone with me, a hat, and some winter clothes, and I'll show all the stuff that's packed. So I'm not fully loaded, but it's just something to try out for today and just get used to the weight and balance of it all. It's a nice windy road. Bag seemed to be holding up nice and tight. So on our trip across America, we're wanting to ride probably almost 1,000 miles of rail trails. A lot of them are gravel. This is just a trail that's kind of by my house. And so checking out to see how the gear holds up on bumpier gravel type trails. See how it goes. One thing more I learned about in this area is where I live, it's hard to get drone access. I live by an Air Force base and a municipal airport. So I've got to ride quite a ways to be able to get to an area where I can get drone footage. And as soon as I get there, a lot of times I start flying out of that area and into an area where I have to have more authorization. I have to get other authorizations, and becomes troublesome. And then today, I got a little bit of drone footage, but the wind started picking up and the rain started falling, so I was a little leery about flying it, as I'm still pretty new. Well, the weather's changed. It's dropped. It's considerably colder. The wind is swirling like mad. Strong headwinds. I'm heading up this hill right here, heading up over what's called Avon Pass. And the great thing about it is the gate's still locked, so there's no vehicles at all on this road. So we're excited to head back down the other way too. That's the gate we got to go through to get out, and we'll be back with traffic. Boo. Cruising down the dirt road. Swirly winds make it treacherous. Whew. Gusts of 20-30 miles an hour. You think the wind's blowing? Yeah, that's what I'm riding into. It's awesome. So on my ride today, I learned a few things, and the first one is that with a full bike, fully loaded, it takes a lot more to stop, more distance to stop. I used to race bikes in high school and in college, and not used to all that weight, and the stopping distance has increased greatly with a full bike. So that's something new to me. The other thing that I learned is that these bags, they block the wind. So today with the crosswinds, there were several times when I was just pushed off the road. and kind of scary. They were 40-mile, 50-mile gusts sometimes. And so that was a good learning experience to know that I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't realize how much it was going to happen. The other thing I had to do is this bike is awesome because it can hold like 4 water bottles. But with this top bag right here, I can only hold 3. And what I had to do is I had to change this bottom water bottle holder because it can only slide in from the top. And these can slide in from the side, which are important if I'm going to use this top bag right here. The other thing I learned is that this device right here, so I got it so that I could use it to put my drone on there and ride and fly my drone at the same time. So it attached just with some 3M adhesive on the back. And as you hook it on, see, it stays on there and it has a lock in the back here. And so it stays on there pretty good. However, on really bumpy roads, which I hit a few of today, it popped off. And it's not because of the device it popped off, it's because the 3M tape popped off. So the backing of this just popped off. And so I need to be more careful or be aware of that on bumpy roads, just to kind of ride holding it in place as well. And because this is pretty heavy, but if it were just a phone, this device is actually pretty good. I'm happy with it. The other concern I have is with this front bag. I don't have a lot of space for my hands right here. It's really tight, and I can't figure out a way to loosen it much without it shaking all over the place. The other thing I had to do is I had to cut this strap right here, as it was sticking out and it would rub my leg and catch and start scratching it. So I tucked it in during the ride. When I got home, I cut it off so I wouldn't have to have that issue anymore. The rest of them seem to be okay and out of the way. So besides those small issues, I think it was a pretty good success on that first ride out. The next adventure I'm going to have with my bike is to try an overnighter. So a ride out 100 miles, camp, and then ride back 100 miles. Packing a tent with my son so he can carry some of the gear, sleep bag, and see how that goes. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on another adventure with Camel.